I like this cover, but Bugs Meany doesn't eat ice cream in this book. It would be neat if he did. An ice cream mystery where Bugs accidentally drops a scoop on himself would be hilarious.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
Case 1. The police caught a bank robber today, not because they're good police officers, but because the robber tripped and fell. The robbers keep their stolen money in a hollow oak tree in the park. There's a stakeout in the park. Humorously, a bumbling police officer ruins the stakeout several times. A man with a cane appears and taps several trees. Can we prove he's guilty? Yes. Hollow trees sound different when you hit them, so the man must have been looking for a hollow tree. Or he just hates trees for some reason, so he hits them with a cane whenever he can. Either way, it's a little hard to swallow that this guy hid money in a tree without knowing exactly which tree it is. Case 2. Bugs Meany is charging people money to see a pirate ghost. The ghost has no head, and it grabs a candy bar from Encyclopedia's hand. How do we know it's fake? Ghosts don't have hands, therefore it's not a ghost. It's one of Bugs' friends with a t-shirt pulled up over his head, and no one noticed the difference. This is kind of a weak mystery solution in my opinion. Survey says, give it half a point. Case 3. Bugs Meany claims Encyclopedia robbed the house next door and he stole a moonstone ring. He saw the ring in great detail because Encyclopedia put his hands to a window to look inside. How do we know he's lying? If Encyclopedia's palms were against the window, Bugs couldn't have seen the ring. Although technically he could have, it depends on the angle of his hands when he put them against the window and when he took them off, but the book doesn't specify that. All it says is that his hands were up with his head between them. I got the solution no problem, but I'd say it needs more details to be 100% correct. Case 4. Encyclopedia goes to the drugstore to drink from the soda fountain. He knows he doesn't live in the 1950s anymore, right? Someone stole $300 bills from an envelope. Wendy says she's being framed because she's new at the store. Bob threatens to quit if he's accused, and George says he didn't touch the Ben Franklins. Who did it? Bob. Only the culprit would know the denomination of the bill. I'm giving this case half a point for being a repeat solution. We saw the same thing in case 2110, where the culprit gave themselves away because they knew the money was in quarters. Case 5. Mr. Jefferson says he's collecting money and ideas on behalf of the president. The mission is for kids only, so no telling adults that you gave your money to him. When Sally points out this is kind of sketchy, Jefferson claims he has been to the president's home, which is the Capitol building. He's lying. Why? The president lives in the White House. Case 6. Pablo made a painting of a pocket watch. This attracts the attention of Punctual Pete Leonard, who always shows up on time. This is an incredibly boring nickname. Encyclopedia knows Pablo's watch is 15 minutes fast, and the watch is stolen. They set Pete up by saying there's a showing at 4 o'clock. Punctual Pete shows up 15 minutes early. How does this prove his guilt? He showed up 15 minutes early, therefore he's using a watch that's 15 minutes fast. Good solution, but I can't believe Pete didn't notice the time on the watch was wrong. We are talking about somebody who is so obsessed with time, he's got a stupid nickname about it. Even if the watch was merely 1 minute fast, he probably would have synced it to real time immediately after stealing it. Case 7. There are 2 runners named Baldy Jones and Fleet Fletcher. Fleet has lots of hair, while Baldy shaves his head before every competition. The 2 of them argue over a gym bag. Inside the bag are valuable stamps, a towel, soap, deodorant, hair gel, and socks. Who owns the bag? Fleet. It can't be Baldy's bag because the bag has hair gel and Baldy has no hair. Although the book just specified that Baldy shaved his head today, meaning he had hair yesterday. So it's not too unbelievable he still has hair gel in his bag. I mean, we're talking about high schoolers who sometimes leave things in their lockers all year. I could understand if he's got hair gel from 6 months ago because he's lazy and never bothered to clean out his bag. Case 8. There is supercomputer brain juice, which is being sold by a high schooler who acts just like Wilford Wiggins, but he's not Wilford Wiggins. He shows off how effective the brain juice is by asking someone trivia questions. Where do polar bears live? The Arctic. What is 11,412 divided by 951? How do we know it's fake? His friend answered the math question before it was finished. Clearly, he knew the question ahead of time. Also, he messed up on a question about the Constitution. Case 9. A girl named Goldie loves the story of Goldilocks so much she broke into her neighbor's house and ate their breakfast food. Patrick's parents blame him for making a mess, even though he has an alibi. When Encyclopedia questions Goldie, she says she'd never sleep in Patrick's bed, the one with the superhero sheets. Is she guilty? Yes, she's guilty, because she wouldn't know about the superhero sheets unless she slept in his bed. This case gets half points because it repeats the solution of only the culprit would know that, and honestly, I'm getting a little annoyed at how they're using the solution multiple times per book. It's getting to the point where I know that's the solution every time a suspect mentions a specific detail. Case 10. A kid named Shoeless Sam is about to set a home run record. The ball goes deep into the outfield, but as he is passing second base, someone comes from the dugout and attacks the second baseman. A huge fight breaks out. It is such a bad fight, nobody can see Shoeless Sam get to third. Please note this is impossible. There is no way that the entire team ran 2 to 3 times as fast as Sam did and still managed to beat him, even though he had a running start. Not to mention, it's impossible to block everyone's view of third base by starting a fight at second base. This case gets half points for the ridiculous premise. Nobody saw Shoeless touch third base with his foot. That's the point that's in contention here. The base itself is completely clean, unlike the other bases, which have muddy prints on them. What's the problem? There are no footprints from anyone on third base, even though there should be. They swapped the third base for a fake base during all the confusion. For an impossible scheme, this was extremely well planned. I give Encyclopedia Brown number 25, Encyclopedia Brown, Super Sleuth, a 7.5 out of 10.